All right. Last week you should have created a goal. Hopefully it was an easy process for you and it's something that you can continue to do throughout your life. I know, especially when you get older and things are more important, this goal setting process is something that is extremely useful to have in your bag of tricks. These are all the other health skills. We're not going to touch on every single one, but we're going to definitely look at some of the more important ones and just breeze through the rest. Developing good health skills will help you maintain your health triangle. It's also going to help you develop positive health behaviors that are going to help prevent illness, injury, diseases, and other health problems. These are things that when people get older and your health starts to decrease as you age, no shock, but then they start to wish like, oh, I wish I was more physically active when I was younger. Or I wish I did watch what I ate because now I have diabetes. I mean, there's a lot of things that will become more prevalent when you're older. So getting into those healthy habits now is going to benefit you in the long run. This is an exercise I do when we're in class about communication. If you want to do it at home with someone and test their communication skills, you can talk to them and then right when you're done talking to them, ask them what you said and see if they remember. So with communication skills, there's this hearing versus listening concept that I see a lot as a teacher also. When I'm going over rules in gym and everyone's like, yep, we got it. And then we start playing and all of a sudden they're like, wait, you can do that? Wait, what are the rules? Because you were not listening, you were just hearing me talk. And usually when a teacher's talking, it is not just for fun. So communication is the clear exchange of ideas and information. A speaker's message has meaning only if you, the listener, receives it. Or if you're talking to someone, I would hope that you would want them to listen to you. So if you want a quiz like your parents or your brother, talk to them, tell them something, and then ask them if they were listening. Ask them to repeat what you said. This is probably something your parents do to you all the time. And I know I do as a teacher. We're going to concentrate here on refusal skills. These are going to come up a lot in health, especially when we talk about drugs and alcohol and, being peer pressured into doing sexual activities or anything else, anything dangerous. These are communication strategies that help you say no to others effectively. So, refusal skills, it's easy to remember because you're basically telling someone to stop. The S stands for say no in a firm voice. If you're giggling and you're like, no, I don't want to smoke, no one's going to take you seriously. You need to say no, and you need to mean it. If they continue to bother you and give you excuses on why you should do whatever they're peer pressuring you to do, you tell them why not. And I'll give you an example on your homework. And if they continue, they're still bugging you, you could offer another idea because maybe they're your friends and you still want to hang out with them, but you don't want to do drugs with them. So maybe you say, well, let's go to a movie instead and stay out of trouble. And if all else fails and they're still hounding you and you can't get them to stop and you know better, then you just need to promptly leave. That's probably the hardest one to remember because promptly is not a word that we use a lot, but you need to just get out of there and not look back. To back up these refusal skills, you need to have a strong body language, and that way people are going to take you a lot more seriously. So make eye contact with them. People are so intimidated by eye contact. It is very strange, but just look them in the eyes so they know that you mean business. You can cross your arms. It's a very unappealing and kind of angry looking stance. You can try it at home. When you're talking, you just seem a little more serious with crossed arms. And then obviously have a serious expression. If you're laughing and joking with your friends, then they're probably not going to take you seriously. Or whenever you laugh, when like your parents yell at you, they get mad because it's a serious situation and they want you to listen. So if you have that strong body language to back up your refusal skills, you're probably going to stay out of trouble. So normally in class, I would have us split up into groups and come up with refusal skits. Everybody hates doing them, so y'all just lucked out completely because no one likes getting up and acting in front of the class for some reason. But normally you would identify who's going to play what role. Someone's going to say no, someone's going to be peer pressuring, and you would have to use stop and back up your refusal skills with strong body language. And then as a class, we would analyze each group's performance and see if they had good refusal skills. Instead of doing that, you are going to, on your homework, I'll just show you quick and come back to this. Instead, you're going to create your own script using the refusal skills, and it's going to have like a dialogue, and I have a good example down here. But the dialogue has to demonstrate someone saying no to another person. So it's like if you're writing a script to a movie, or if you've been in a play and you saw the script that you had to memorize. So someone saying no to another person or group of persons, whatever scenario you want to make up, it has to be school appropriate. Yes, I'm the only person reading it, but I don't need anything inappropriate. And at least 5 lines of dialogue has to be used. So here's my example. Girl 1 is saying, "Hey Betty, want to smoke with us?" This is a common thing that people use. You cannot copy my example. Thank you. Betty says, "No way," that's her stop. She's saying no in a firm voice, so I labeled it with an S for you. Girl 2 says, "Oh, come on, Betty, you're always the good girl. Be bad for once." There's a third girl I chose to involve. Betty is getting peer pressured by a group of her peers. Girl 3 says, "Yeah, have some fun." Betty is going to tell them why not. She says, "I don't care. Smoking is not fun and is not good for you. You shouldn't be doing it either." Whew, you go, Betty. Girl 1, "Well, we are. So are you in or are you out?" She is not taking Betty's no for an answer. So Betty is going to turn her down harder. She says, "I am out. I will be at my house playing The Sims." I love The Sims. "If you want to do that instead. Otherwise, I am so out of here." And then she leaves. So I put the last 2 together, the O and the P. You can do them separate. You can have more dialogue. It really doesn't matter, but she offered another solution. She said, "I'm going to my house to play The Sims if you want to come do that with me instead." And then she said, "Otherwise, I'm out of here." She didn't want to hear it anymore from these 3 girls peer pressuring her, so she promptly leaved. Again, I labeled where she used stop just so you can easily identify and see where it is. Feel free to label your own dialogue to make sure that you have all 4 because you're getting graded on it. And then you just put your dialogue down here. Again, don't copy mine. Be creative. There's lots of other things that people can be peer pressured to do other than smoke. And again, school appropriate. I don't need slang terms or inappropriate language. And then the last question on your homework is talking about conflict resolution versus refusal skills. And the difference of these 2 are that conflict resolution is when you need to solve a disagreement in a way that satisfies both sides. So yes, I'm teaching you to refuse things, but for example, if your parents tell you to clean your room, you're probably not going to want to use your refusal skills because it's not going to work out in your favor. That might be a conflict resolution thing. Maybe you're in the middle of a really important game and your parents are like, "Turn it off and go clean your room." And maybe you can compromise when you're done with your game. It's going to last, 2 more minutes. Then you can go clean your room. You can't use your refusal skills on your daily chores. It won't work. Your parents won't be happy with you. So refusal skills help you say no to an unhealthy or risky situation. It's not unhealthy or risky to clean your room. Well, some of your rooms, it might be risky, but the conflict resolution will help you to solve a disagreement. So comparing the two, how do refusal skills differ from conflict resolution skills? The final question on your homework. This should be your answer. Refusal skills help you say no to an unhealthy or risky situation. Your friends want you to smoke. Unhealthy. Say no. Your friends want you to jump off a bridge. Risky. Say no. Conflict resolution helps you solve a disagreement. Your friends want to play basketball, but you want to play soccer. That's more of a conflict resolution. Where can you compromise on which sport to play? Maybe you combine them and play speedball. There you go. Playing sports is not unhealthy and it's not risky unless you're someone that's accident prone. So, there is your final answer. You have your homework, which should be super easy. You get to be creative with your dialogue. You have that last question about refusal skills. You have stop. How do you show strong body language? Again, if you get it done before Friday, turn it in. Don't Google the answers because they won't be the same as my notes. And you can watch this video link if you need additional help. I might be talking to myself, but if you're out there watching, you go. Extra credit.